If you fancy yourself a world traveler, then for your next trip, you should consider visiting one of these 8 most amazing places on Earth. Number 8. The Dark Hedges in Northern Ireland. In the 18th century, the Stuart family of Northern Ireland planted beech trees along Burgach Road, hoping to impress visitors to their manor. Over the 300 years since the trees were introduced to the landscape, that same manor, Grace Hill House, was turned into a golf course, but the greenery lives on, the tops of trees intertwining, creating a tunnel of sorts. It's not just beautiful, however. Some tell the tale of the Grey Lady, a specter whose ethereal presence comes and goes on the roadside. Her phantom origins are as mysterious as she is, with some storytellers describing her as a maid from a nearby manor who died under questionable circumstances hundreds of years ago, and others simply describing her as a lost spirit from a nearby graveyard. Regardless of whether or not you believe in ghosts, though, one thing is for sure. The next time you're in Ireland, visit the Dark Hedges. Number 7. Chittorga Fort, India. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, meaning that it is globally considered to be of cultural and historical importance, Chittorga Fort is one of the largest forts in India. It has been ruled by a variety of warring parties before finally being abandoned in 1567. Today, the fort is widely visited for its sprawling ruins, including a series of palaces, temples, gates, and 2 commemorative towers. It is also the site for the annual Jahur Mela, the largest Rajput festival, which takes place on the anniversary of one of the historical Jauhars, a phrase describing the suicide of female rulers when their palace has been overtaken and the other option is enslavement, rape, and torture. The historical practice is considered incredibly brave, so every year in the shadow of the massive Indian fort, thousands gather to watch a procession and air their modern political concerns. Number 6. Fairy pools on the Isle of Skye, Scotland. Created by the stream runoff from the Cuillin Mountains, the Scottish fairy pools are named for their crystal clear waters and magical off-the-beaten-path surroundings. A series of waterfalls lines the edges, and though they seem inviting, be warned. The temperature is very cold year-round, so while a swim might be tempting, it isn't suggested, even in the summer. However, for the brave amongst you, the chilly waters have a lot to discover. Natural arches create underwater paths, and in some places the pools are deep enough to dive in from the rocks above. Aside from the practical fun of an adventurous swim and hike, the fairy pools are just visually breathtaking from any angle. Number 5. Panjin Red Beach, China. Sometimes things aren't quite what they sound like, and the Panjin Red Beach is no exception. Instead of warm sand, the ocean tide lapping up while tourists and locals stroll in the sun, this beach is actually covered with red seaweed called sueda, which changes from green to orange to pink to flame red like in most of the photos. Located in the largest wetland and reed marsh in the world, the Red Beach is home to 260 kinds of birds and 399 types of wild animals, making it also one of the most complete ecosystems in the world as well. Because of this, in 1988 it was given state-level protection, thus most of the area is off-limits for visitors. Don't fret though, as a small section of the incredible beach is still open for tourists. Number 4. Waitomo Glowworm Caves in New Zealand. Known for its massive glowworm population, these caves on the North Island of New Zealand offer a wide variety of intense and one-of-a-kind sights. The name comes from Maori words wai, meaning water, and tomo, meaning hole or shaft, because you can travel through on a boat via the glowworm grotto, as it's called. Though beautiful and awe-inspiring, the glowworm's management is much less magical. A scientific advisory board keeps close track of carbon dioxide levels, rock and air temperature, and humidity, and will often change the number of visitors allowed on given days and weeks to protect the cave's inhabitants. Originally discovered by Maori chief Tain Tenaro and an English surveyor, Fred Mace, their descendants remain involved to this day, comprising of many of the cave's staff as well as receiving a percentage of the revenue. Number 3. Pamukkale and Hierapolis in Turkey. Within the ancient city of Hierapolis, meaning Holy City in Turkish, thousands of tourists a year wade in Cleopatra's Pool, a natural thermal spring. Since its founding, Cleopatra's Pool has been famous for its supposed health properties, with visitors flocking from all over the world to experience the year-round temperate climate. Scientists have found that the spring contains biocarbonates, sulfates, iron, and carbon dioxide, all with their own health benefits for swimmers. Believed to have been founded in the 2nd century, this area isn't just a great place to visit, but a famous place to come to die. The entire ancient city is filled with sarcophagi, with simpler graves for common folk and raised coffins and monuments for the richer classes, dating back to the late Hellenic and early Christian eras. In addition, the surrounding archaeological site and other natural springs have been declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site as well. Number 2. Li River, China. Spanning roughly 52 miles, it's no wonder the Li River in China makes the list of the most amazing places on Earth. A 4 to 5 hour trip will take you the whole way, just in time to take in the sights. One of the first will be Elephant Trunk Hill, a natural rock formation shaped like an elephant taking a drink from the river. Another site will be the Forest of Oddly Shaped Peaks, named for its cluster of mountain peaks that some believe resemble thousands of swords or bamboo shoots. Number 1. Neuschwanstein Castle, Germany. This castle is so amazing and picturesque that Disney used it as the inspiration for Cinderella's castle, and that's one of the least interesting things about it. Nestled in southwest Bavaria, Germany, this massive neo-Gothic structure was originally intended as a refuge for the antisocial king Ludwig II of Bavaria, and after its death was opened up to the public, partially to pay for the construction debts accrued. During the Second World War, a sub-organization of the Nazi Party used the castle to store and catalog stolen French artifacts, but this less than savory past doesn't stop upwards of 1.3 million people from visiting the castle each year.